vote to make sure those residents actually see what we got going on there.
Yeah, I don't know about public vote, but it's...
Well, there's a survey.
Yeah, survey.
There's a survey, yes,
Survey,
which doesn't really vote, but it kind of weighs in on that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, if you let me know, we can publicize it.
Open house, man.
And food?
Sure.
Yeah, you gotta bring it.
Hats?
We're gonna have
Maybe
sushi.
little plastic hats?
I can have some of that.
Okay.
It's gonna be sponsored by the sushi bar.
Anything else?
Okay.
Right on the
That's all I got.
Is the Goofy Greek gonna be there?
The Goofy Grape, I think, is in a landfill somewhere. I got a lot of pictures of it, though.
Tracy?
Sewer department doesn't have anything.
Except,
Change of employment.
Blaze too.
Yes.
We need to have an executive session and then do something with it.
Not to make you feel bad, the last time I saw one of those, someone got fired.
So bad.
I hope for it every time.
You hope for it every time.
Jeff?
The only thing new that I have, other than the report that I emailed, is tomorrow we'll be picking snow tomorrow morning, starting at like 4 o'clock, picking snow on Lake Street. And then we're gonna pick the snow on, at the fire stations. I already did Station 3 today, but because the mayor requested me to
Good.
move a pile of snow over Station 2 over that.
Did anybody clean the sidewalk under the underpass?
That is a sore subject between myself and DOT at this point.
Okay.
I'm trying to arrange for them to basically do it, seeing how they pushed it all.
Bury it?
Yeah, it's their property.
This time they pushed it right to the wall, so.
They did, yeah.
Oh,
So
so there's no
tomorrow I
sidewalk
gotta
left then?
call.
I clean it up every time in my house.
So, besides that, last time they actually set up cone lanes and did it themselves. I think they should do that again. So, I'll be talking to them again tomorrow.
Well, they should do
So
something.
we'll do something with it.
I know I witnessed a little old guy in a walker trying to walk down the middle of the road because the sidewalk was all covered in snow, so we don't want him to get run down.
You should be calling Uber.
Probably should, but especially with the temperature out there.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Everything?
That's all I got, really.
Or a week of taxi at least.
I mean, we plowed all weekend.
I'm going to address that.
Oh, good.
Mr. Fuller?
Quite a number of the village residents are quite pleased with your department, your preparation, your activities. There have been complaints in the past, oh, you didn't get this street and that was that, and you guys were ready and you had streets in this village under control and have a number of compliments. Haven't heard anybody complain that their street wasn't taken care of, so quite pleased. Thank you.
I would
Let
second
the guys
that.
know, thank you.
I'd second that.
There's a lot of snow.
Yeah.
Done a lot of work on the weekend and all that.
Did a great job on Page Street.
Didn't being facetious. That's a word for the
I'm
day.
being serious. You did a great job on Page Street.
We tried.
All right. That's all right.
But I'll let you guys know, thanks.
Yeah.
So we have an update on the draft law for OHPC. For anybody who doesn't know, we've had a couple of workshops.
Yeah, 7 hours.
One went till midnight, the other one went till 10 or so. We've been working on this a lot.
So, this is a...
No, I don't know yet.
Yeah, one up, sorry. This is a current draft incorporating all the revisions that we talked about through the... That's broad.
Go ahead.
I'll take it.
Fine, I don't want to do it.
You can.
You
You got all the changes put in?
As far as I can.
So I went through, there was, no, you can have this one, actually. I
don't want it.
So it incorporates everything that we worked through as of yesterday, and then today I had a call with, and his name's, I think it's James Finelli from SHPO. about the question of ordinary maintenance and repair and what, if any, review authority the board, the commission would have to have. And he said, as long as the definition of ordinary maintenance and repair really is what SHPO considers ordinary maintenance and repair, then it is fine to very clearly say the commission will not be reviewing that type of stuff. So I've added some language that says that.
They gave it to you? They gave you that exact definition?
No, we have their definitions from their model law, and now I've added in the statement very clearly that the village commission would not be reviewing, you know, expressly excluded from this is ordinary maintenance and repair. As well, I also talked with him about listing, if we have an administrative process in place, listing those things the administrative officer, the historic preservation planner would do by regulation. He said that he believes that would be fine. So this draft deletes all of those things and just says we'll adopt those items by regulation. There's a couple other minor edits in here that I made just because, as always when reviewing a 30-some page document, you're going to find something to tweak. But nothing, I think, of major significance. And I think I managed to print it off in color. So that might make it easier to actually review it. And then I also talked with Elaine Jardine and have sent her a copy of this in red line. She's going to take a look at it and talk with the county planning chair to let me know if the county will be requiring another 239 review on this. Unless anyone has any other drafts or revisions to make, you know, now or really, really soon, I'm planning on sending this red line version to Jim Finelli at SHPO, so he has the draft document. He can see everything that we've changed, and then we'll know if SHPO has any other concerns or comments about anything that we've done with this. But the big thing, I think, driving our timing here is whether the county needs 239 review. Elaine will hopefully let me know within the next day or two. If we don't need 239 review, then I believe we can take action at the next board meeting in February, first meeting in February.
Yeah, we can have the public hearing then.
Right.
We would
We're gonna have to
Continue.
We can continue it anyway. I mean, it's a question of whether or not we can vote yes or no.
But assuming that no one has any other real changes, and Rusty, I know you like to review the specific language. If you have some tweaks to how things are worded and it doesn't significantly change it, I think we can still move forward without having to send everything back out to everybody. But I'd encourage you to send those things to me as soon as possible.
When are you going to do this, tomorrow, the next day?
Yeah, I mean, I would try and send it off to SHPO tomorrow, just so that if they need, I don't know how much time they're going to take. They don't want to take action until SHPO's told us that this is fine.
I think they'll turn it around pretty fast.
Can you send me the clean copy and I'll put it on the website
Yeah.
for everybody to start looking at for that February 4th?
My only question is the district boundaries. So are we going to adjust those so they actually fulfill what they currently are rather than what's written here?
So again, the law from 1986 that was then adopted again in the recodified village code from 1997 through and up to the current version of the law that we have today has contained the exact same district boundaries description.
Right.
That's what I've understood from Cindy over at Rod's office. So if I think at this point, absent someone very clearly showing me that the village board adopted a change to the district boundaries, that description is the description to use. And we've had these discussions. There's discrepancy between what is considered or what is the national district and the village local district. If there's a decision by the village board to expand the local district to match the boundaries of the historic district, I think the village board could theoretically do so, but then I would need somebody to really give me that same description. And actually, I guess it's not clear to me as well.
Yeah.
When the national, or in 1997, 98, when the national district boundaries were changed, did they at that time make it match the local district? I don't know because I don't have that.
I'm going to go to David Allen, who was in charge of that at the time, and try to get to the bottom of that. But SHPO, Mr. Finelli, I had a conversation with him. I'm sorry. And he said, the thing is, you go back into the minutes. That's the rule. He said, because I asked him, I said, can you give me the documentation that was sent to you? Because the thing that you have to look at is what was in the minutes, and you've already done that search, so that's what we have to stick with.
Rusty?
Yes, so we're gonna send this in, we're gonna presume it's correct, and if we decide later that it's not, we'll amend our law, later, but we
Yeah, we
We
always
can go
change
through
it.
the process like we outlined in the law to designate new portions of it.
So we're gonna go with
The process that's in here.
And just to remind everyone that the importance of communicating and getting SHPO's approval is so that we get the CLG.
Right.
We do not want to pass a law that we have a commission, but it won't qualify for the CLG. That's
Right.
like one of the big things that
Because
we're
then
doing.
we'll just have to modify it later. Cost us more money.
That's it. Second most important thing.
Yeah. Equal.
You good on that? All right. Next item is trustee reports. Fran?
Oh, I don't know if you want me to list all of it. In the last 2 weeks, I went to 7 different meetings, spent 18 hours altogether between DRI and village board. But one thing that the board is not aware of at the moment is, it was on last Monday, last Monday.
Not last night.
In the afternoon, there was a meeting with
Oh, yeah.
the Tioga County. There was a housing study that was put out last spring by Tioga County. And so the mayor got a request at the last minute. We needed somebody from the board to be there, and so I was the only one available at the time, so I went. But I told him I'm not going to take on the responsibility for it. But essentially, it's I think it's more good news for the village. This Tioga County Rural Economic Area Partnership is going to be the Federal Department of Agriculture is going to be working with the Village of Owego, North Valley, and Waverly on looking at our residential properties, and in a matter of time, I'm sure it'll take several years, they will be providing us with some grant money to help with some of these, developing these areas. But in the meantime, they want us to spend a bunch of time going to more meetings here in the next couple months,
I know.
in addition to the DRI, to set up the areas where we feel new housing or new construction has to be done. So I've left it up to the mayor to follow through on this and set up our next meeting with the village board and so on.
I know, I've been struggling to set that up with them, but
Yeah. I mean, that's a nutshell. I can give you some other information, but that's basically it. They want us to work on a plan for the village
okay.
for housing.
Ron?
I've been to a couple of work sessions for the Historic Commission. I've also enlisted for attendance at the emergency management training for February 7th. And I'd just like to reiterate what Rusty has said. I heard a lot of great things about the way you guys handled this storm, and thank you.
Yeah.
Rusty?
No report. I'd like to request an executive session. You won't hear that from me very often for personnel matters and.
Who seconded it?
Oh, wait a minute. Does the mayor give us a report?
I do a
Oh, he's
report.
got, I'm just,
We can do the vote on that if you want.
Is that?
Yeah, we'll have the executive
We
session
need a second for that.
No, I'm not gonna have it in a second. I have to-
after public. comment.
Okay.
I move we have an executive session.
Okay.
I don't even know who you are anymore.
When we vote, you abstain.
Aren't the contributions?
You can move and then vote to
Can
abstain.
I vote against my own motion by Robert's rules?
You can, actually.
I move for an executive session for personnel matters.
We have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. And a vote.
Yes.
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 Not bad taste.
Not done quite yet.
Okay, Mayor, give your report.
I didn't write a report. I've been to at least as many meetings as Fran, probably more.
Probably more, yeah.
I'm sure my family can tell you how many meetings I've been to. But anyway, I need to appoint, or make a motion to appoint Mike DeMarney to the planning board. Do I have a second?
Second.
And a vote?
Yes.
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 And yes. And I need to make a motion to appoint Mike DeVarney to the zoning board.
Can you
You
be,
can only serve on
I think you can only be on one.
Which one did you want?
Planning or,
That one works.
Okay,
Planning?
Yeah.
yeah, you can only be on one.
okay, sorry, tried both.
Okay.
And then, something I have to bring up, I was approached again about the parking in front of the old country store. What they want there, Main Street, right across as you go over the railroad tracks, the icy railroad tracks. They want to make that parking match Front Street and Lake Street, which is 3-hour parking, and he sent me a picture. It was 3-hour parking and then like no parking a certain time period. That requires us to change the local law. So we need to look into that, and we need specific measurements from the corner and whatever. And there's probably other things in that local law when we dig it open we will find. Rusty?
Is that request from a tenant there with a business, or is it from the property owner?
Both.
So this would be no overnight parking, 3-hour regardless.
Right.
And does he not have other tenants who live there as well? Couldn't that be taking parking away from his own tenants?
That's a good question.
I mean, I
Well,
don't
this
know
is
how
something we're gonna have to
obligation-
discuss at
Right.
a future meeting, right?
Right.
Okay.
Once we figure out the exact changes to the law.
Because if you follow Front Street, it's gonna be no parking from 2 to 5.
Right.
Something, I don't know what it is.
Right.
I wrote enough parking tickets in my day. It's 2 to 5.
In front of the parlor club, I bet.
That's where the picture of the sign came from, was from
So,
the
Mr.
bar.
Mayor, we noted that this gentleman is requesting this. We're not yet at a place to drop a law. We're not there yet.
No, we have to
Yes.
figure out what the revision to the law would be and all that.
Yeah.
Actually, you just end up amending
Right.
adding it to the list, right?
Yeah, well, because I know that it has several sections and it says from here to here, there. And I don't know how that piece of the road is kind of written, so I think we probably would have to say, all right, it's from here to here, and add that then to the list of whatever the parking is that you guys end up deciding.
It's just in front of his place, right?
Yeah.
What that would require,
Well,
as
it's,
far as the law and all that.
yeah, I mean, the local law itself would be relatively simple in that it would say, a local law to amend the parking regulations on Main Street. And then, whereas we want to change it, we're now revising section, whatever it is,
Right.
schedule to include this.
Right.
And that's it. So, I mean, really, it's that straightforward. I would just need to know exactly which piece of the law you want to add to, what the parking regulation should be, and what the distances are.
Okay.
Do we have to paint, do we have to mark out parking spaces to
That
do
would be
that?
desired.
Okay,
That's for a later date.
There's somebody who parks there now, parks
Moving
in the
on.
middle of it. but-
yeah.
Certainly, having parking spaces delineated makes enforcement easier.
Well, there's 3 spots and somebody parks in the middle of it, so there's really only 2. So anyway,
Can you talk about this next meeting?
yes, that's something we have to look into.
Look into it.
I think that's all I was supposed to bring up.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna set a date for this in the email message, there was a question on a certain February 12th.
Oh, I can't do that date, which I had already sent to Brittany.
Okay.
We can work that out and we'll post it. If it's
Jeff will go.
Jeff, yeah,
Who's gonna be there?
You are.
Who's gonna be there?
You want the new office or not?
I just wanted to see if you were right there. You were.
this housing thing. We're
Okay.
still working back and forth with them with a date.
Tioga County Housing.
Yeah,
And when is it again?
we don't know yet.
Oh, okay. Let me know.
Probably in February at some point.
Let me know.
All right, so our only last thing before the executive session is public comment.
I just, speaking for the OHPC, I want to thank everybody for working on this model law, and it's coming along. Really appreciate all the extra hours that you put into it, so it's been a long journey for everybody. And I really appreciate the village attorney pushing this ahead right now, trying to make it go. Thank you, Jeff. And Meg.
Jeff's getting all
Well,
the
no,
praises
you-
tonight.
I know.
I'm not putting that in there.
And I have, and I want to thank you too for the rather lengthy things, listening to all that I had to say tonight, so thank you for that. And I just have a question in regard to the sewer line that's owned by the Lake Street properties. Is that still in as far as DRI, or is kicked
Yes.
out, or?
So the village doesn't have a whole lot of say in the DRI besides me and Fran are on the committee.
Nadine's on the committee.
And the Nadine, but the village has expressed that that's one of its top interests to hopefully have that happen.
Thank you.
What's going to happen to this building when the new building is built?
Probably become parking.
There was a big discussion about whether we could use the money to rip this thing down or not. And I still am not clear on that.
I don't know either.
At first it was no, we can do that, and then it was, well, maybe.
I think if we need to do it because
Some of the information we get
see
is
the police
skewed
station.
towards Portsmouth.
Fire station.
Windows out.
Burn train?
That's come and gone, that thought. I was gonna say that on record.
Yeah,
I was wondering if that's.
They want the garage for the truck.
it's up in the air.
Okay.
I guess it depends how they have to
Good stop on
have to
this.
lay out the
Tell
ground.
me where you want the fire to stop.
Because they have to
Right here.
raise the ground
It's
over there
got
up
to keep the garage
6
here.
feet or something like that.
About Page Street. Talking about Page Street.
What are we doing over there?
You want to stop the fire if they burnt this place, so some of them go to Page Street.
I have a problem with that because I live between them.
I know,
That's
some.
true.
Where's Spencer at Temple?
That's a gray area.
Okay.
Mike, are you at the diner tomorrow?
Okay.
No.
What day are you gonna be there?
Yeah, I just haven't been part of
What's that?
What day will you be there again?